Hi, I'm Peter Martin. Hopefully you're enjoying our content on the football show. We thought we'd put together the best of the football show over the course of the season for you to enjoy. Thank you very much for your support. And don't forget, you can subscribe to us on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Made me feel really old because I remember as a young reporter following you in the Wraith Rovers, although you had started at Hibernian. What was it like coming on the park? Were the butterflies still there?
Yeah, they were, Peter, to be honest. And, I think that edge never ever will leave you when you're going into a competitive game. But it was a nice experience. But as I said, hopefully not one that I've got to do too often. And hopefully, by next month when we play the next cup game, that we've got a full bill of health again.
Look at that, Barry. Look at that. I reckon the six-pack is still there as well. And the one thing that's there, Barry, in abundance, the head, the experience, the touch, the ability to know what's around you.
Yeah, well, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday I'm sat between you two and I look good. Annie's come in and I'm straight to the gym right after the show. So, no, listen, it's unbelievable. Look, at times, try and join in at training and you always want to keep trying playing. But listen, your head's always there. Sometimes your leg's sore and your body's not. But look, to play at 50 in a competitive game against a strong young Celtic team is unbelievable.
Yeah, my favourite game, I have to say, from last season was with his nephew, because I thought, while up against Lewis and of course Graham Shinney, you went out of your way to try and derail their game while getting your teammates to play even better. You came away with a 2-1 win. What did you say to him?
No, that was it. It wasn't anything specific, but it is what it is. You just need to, like you say, get them to switch off for a moment or two and you capitalise, and that was what it is. We played Aberdeen first game of the season and Lewis was playing again, but he's a bit more streetwise now than he's probably learnt a lot over the course of last season in his first year in.
It's funny you should say that. About 2 or 3 weeks after that, Lewis was down at the house and I says to him, what about Nazy? And he just looked at me, he's like, I never shut something I hate him. I says, well, listen, that's experience for you.
Yeah.
So he needs to learn for that. And as Nazy just says there, that was something that Lewis did have to learn, not to get not getting took to the cleaners in terms of what Nazy done with him. But listen, he's a young boy and he'll learn and he'll get over that.
You know what? I was waiting on Dorothy just opening the door to the all yellow, greens and blues and purples. No, the half-decent songs.
There is a great deal of humour as well, you know, between the two of them, depending what's going on. But, but I'm saying, I mean, they have songs that we do like hearing them singing.
Yeah.
Both sets.
What's your favourites, Robbie? Don't bother. Give him a shovel, will you, Alec? Anyway, no, I take your point. I just think they should be there, Barry. It just does my head in.
I think if you ask any player, I certainly played at Ibrox. When I was playing, I can only go with my experiences. And when I ran out that tunnel and obviously went to our side, the right side, it was great. There was 7,000-8,000 Celtic fans baying for your blood. It was unbelievable. The atmosphere, they made it. Yeah. And I just hope, as Alison says, they sit round the table and go over this and sort this out. Because honestly, you could ask any player that's played and it makes a difference.
Yeah. Tam, it's been a long, protracted deal with you. You still be at the BBC as well, I have to say.
Absolutely. But I'm delighted to come in. I'm feeling particularly, though, untrendy today, sitting next to Ruffy. The very fact that I was reading this morning that the mullet has made a comeback.
Yes.
And that's what all the young dudes are going for now, so that's quite incredible. Yeah. Feeling like a proper scruff here.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about the fashion end of it, Tam, because what you'll find over the forthcoming weeks and months is Ruffy wears a variation on any Ralph Lauren shirt from the Gretna outlet. It's as simple as that. He buys them on bulk and wears them. And if there's none in the dryer, then he just wears the same one 3-4 days in the
So that was 2 bits of product placement there. That was Ralph Lauren. You're trying for these new sponsors, aren't you? And the Gretna Village outlet.
So there you are, Tom. And I mean, the less we say about fashion, the better, because your hair has ruined our team photograph, let me tell you. Do you itch and think to yourself, I wish I was involved in that kind of Scotland setup?
Yeah, obviously it's a target for myself, but for me this season was just about
back playing regular football, and I'm finding that currently at Hibs and enjoying every moment.
Yeah, seems like only yesterday, you might not remember this, but I was watching you play at New St Mirren Park, Scotland under-21s against the Czech Republic all those years ago, and I thought to myself, this guy's going to be a star. At that point, you had the world at your feet, you had all those big decisions to make. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I think that was at Dundee United before I moved on to West Brom, but for me, one where other things didn't work out as way as I'd planned as early in my career as I'd wanted to, but I've learned from it now and I'm a better player for it, and
yeah,
as I say, I get a home at Hibs at the moment and enjoying it.
Before we talk about whether we need to review the entire Scottish game, the structure and the setup, Barry Ferguson, what's wrong with our game?
I think we should just be careful. I know there's been a reaction after the Belgium defeat. Bearing in mind we're playing against the best team with a hell of a lot of quality in that team. Are we producing enough young players? In my opinion, no, we ain't. But I don't think it's as bad as people are making out, Peter. I know there's been a lot made of these performance schools. If you look at it closely, there has been a few produced. Yeah, I think there should be more getting produced. But I don't think we need to go back and have a full review again. I don't know how many times we need to do this. It seems after every defeat we have, it's all we need to go back and look at the youth structure. But I will be honest, I do think we need to start producing a lot more than we certainly are just now.
I don't think Steven Gerrard will lose the plot on it, because here is one man who speaks well, he's got his feet firmly on the ground, Alison, but sometimes players almost certainly get caught up in the hype from some elements of the media who just boost them up beyond what they're capable of, but by starting to read and believe their own press.
I think what you're seeing is a naivety there. There's just an inexperience. I think if you're going to claim that you're the best team in the country, you have to prove it, and there's a tangible proof, and that is by lifting a piece of silverware. I think we would all accept that. I think the difference with Steven Gerrard is that he has far more experience. He's played at the very top level as a Liverpool captain. He understands the demands. He also understands the rhetoric involved, having probably spoken at numerous press conferences, and he's very experienced when it comes to media dealings. I think what you're seeing is just a real inexperience and naivety on the part of Ojo. But I do think there's also an element of stop digging. He said it once, and you can imagine that people were saying, right, he said it once, just let it slide, and then clearly asked the question again, do you still think that you've got the best squad in the country? Where else do you go but to say, well, yeah, I don't want to back down. So, yeah, we're still up there.
Okay, don't lose faith, by the way. I think there's less than 100 days till Christmas. You can still look forward to something if it's not international football.
Cancelled. Cancelled Christmas. Cancelled Christmas. I'm now coming to tell you it's officially Christmas has been cancelled as well. So you might look forward to your next summer holidays, but the summer holidays are still in the balance.
Yeah, okay. You're taking a leaf out of Alan Rickman's Christmas is cancelled. Anyway, okay, let's move off international football in case we're going a complete downer.
Yeah, look, he's an experienced manager. He'll know he's under pressure to get results. Obviously, the Hearts fans are not happy. He'll know that. So it's important to try and get wins and wins quickly. But I don't think they'll do it against Motherwell. I think Motherwell, just get a funny feeling that Motherwell can go to Tynecastle, and certainly the first 15-20 minutes, if they keep that crowd quiet, then I think Hearts are in for a difficult afternoon.
Yeah, I think you sometimes, Barry, are guilty of sitting too near Ruffy, and that's where mispronunciation comes, because certainly the Farts fans hope they don't turn up, because that'll just be a rotten game for everybody, Ruffy. If there's a guy who can make a mistake, it's Ruffy. But as soon as you did it, I thought, now will I let that go or will I hammer him for that?
Yep.
Now Stuart Finley's being compared to Juventus legend Chiellini. Is Angelo Alessio just heaped some amount of pressure on him?
No, I don't know if he's phrased that right. I think he's maybe trying to get him to look like Chiellini. Maybe he's not thinking he is Chiellini, hopefully. But, I think you've got to build players' confidence up in games, and that'll certainly give him a wee, G up. He's in the Scotland squad as well, so why not?
Yeah, I'm worried about that. Is there ever a player that you came across, Barry, that you played alongside? There was a wee nickname for them that suddenly you thought, you'll never live up to that?
I don't think any of the managers that I played under done that. It's going to be hard. Look, he's an experienced campaigner, the boy. I think he'll just take that with a pinch of salt. Because he is a big player for Kilmarnock.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a leader at the back. But to compare him to the boy at Juventus now, he's world class.
You don't want to say Chiellini because you've heard Ruffy
I know.
you've heard Ruffy destroy that name.
He was calling him
listen, he'll be chocolate ice cream by the time he's finished with him, by the way. He never pronounces a name right on any programme.
Go on, have a bash.
Chiellini.
If you don't say it loud, nobody knows.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, so Gabriel sets the scene on this one. It's not going to be easy for Rangers, of course. Certainly, I don't like them, the artificial pitch.
I'm glad you finished that sentence before you get any feedback. Dear me. I think I've just ruined one of your seats here, Peter.
No, the point I was going to make was Steven Gerrard said, I'm not going to accept any excuses on this one. You know, it's the same for both teams, but I'm not happy with them in Europe.
Oh, you know what? Nobody likes the plastic pitches, right? But you've got to play in them now. It's the 21st century, that's it. So we can't keep moaning about them.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say for any Rangers fans slightly worried going into this one, I don't think Rangers actually get the credit they deserve for beating Aberdeen at the weekend. I think the focus went on Aberdeen a bit. Imagine Aberdeen, God, that's meant to be one of the great rivalries. They get absolutely pumped 5-0. When did they last lose 5 goals, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't think Rangers get the credit. So I think, you know, you're going into a European game and you've just beat one of your great rivals 5-0. It's not a bad position to be in. So I'd be quite buoyant if I was a Rangers fan.
I've got to ask you, Rafa, how many of the strips have you still got? I know you sold a lot of them.
No,
have you got a good few Scotland ones?
Yeah, I've got my Scotland-England ones. I've got my Scotland-Peru one and the Holland one.
Yeah. Barry, what about yourself?
My first, my debut game and my first game as Scotland captain.
Got them in a frame?
Yep.
Yeah, you get yours enough. You've got one of your 82 World Cup ones in a frame.
And I've got the Kubias one in a frame as well now.
Yeah, Kubias, yeah.
Because I saw you in his mantelpiece.
No, I saw him looking at it every time he came to my house. So I had to get it in a frame because he disappeared into a room and pinched it.
Brendan Rodgers has been chatting, trying to give his end of things as far as Celtic are concerned. I'll start the whole thing. I think it's a nonsense that people only 4 or 5 months down the line seem to have forgotten all about the history of this with Brendan Rodgers. The nonsense is, quite simply, nobody's doubting he was a good coach. Everybody knows a good coach. The point is, you don't declare your love for somebody and then divorce them.
Not at that time of the season. I mean, the great thing about it was if he'd have left after securing a treble, they would have been carrying him out. I mean, it's not a matter of leaving Celtic, it's how he left Celtic.
Yeah.
And his last season did him no credit. I think his press conference before the AK Athens game, which was the biggest game of Celtic's season, certainly in financial terms, was frankly a disgrace, where he blamed the board. He talked about his team not being as good as before the biggest game of the season. He's talking about my team's not as good as it was last season. You say, come on, you can't be saying that in the press. You can't be saying that to your team when they do the biggest game. And I think I would say to him, as far as this going on about I came to Leicester, I would say put down the spade and walk away from the hole.
Yes, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right, Hugh. I mean, if ever I heard the best summing up of it, it was an ex-Celtic manager, Gordon Strachan, who said, "You're just about to tell your girl you're in love with her, you're married, you're going to stay with her forever," and then you look over her shoulder and go, "Ooh, I like the look of that one over there." Now, look at Ruffy. He can relate to that line. I feel as if we're running a show called Friends Reunited, Ruffy. We're just getting old pals back together, and Jacko and Tomo.
Yeah, let's definitely go back a few years and a lot of good stories to tell.
Yeah, and of course, sometimes it's not about the knowledge you have in football, it's just getting each other jobs along the way, Tommy? Is that what it's all about? Because you've got your head of recruitment job at Blackpool and you've got Bonzo there helping you out.
My senior scout in Scotland, is that what you mean, Peter?
Of course, your job's caused a fair bit of consternation. Are you happy that you're there? Look at his face. We might as well.
Took 3 hours to get that out.
I had to get it out, by the way. I mean, it's You were going one place, which is Southend. You end up at Blackpool. What swayed you?
Good question. No, I just felt for myself it was a better fit. You know, obviously I'd spoke to Henrik and Johan about it, and then it was lastminute.com that Blackpool had came in, and talked to them, and I thought about it and thought it was best fit for me.
Yeah, I think some people actually, you know, along the way look, and you get decisions in life are sliding doors moments that can suddenly transform your life or change your life. Blackpool at times I thought it was a car crash of a club, and finances dictate that. Suddenly do you feel there's a better and bigger vision there?
Definitely, because of this new owner come in, you know, he's a fan, you know, he lives in Hong Kong, into hedge funds and all that, and has bought the club, and I think everybody knows what happened in the past with the Oystons and how it was, the town. You could see they were really down, and I think there's a lift in the place at the minute. Peter, new chief exec who Darren worked with before, and Ben Mansford, and I think we're going to have a go. You know, you got Simon Grayson in the manager house who's done its stuff at League One and Championship level. So it just felt right. As I said, it was very, very much last minute when I was going there, and. Yeah, it was a traumatic couple of weeks, shall I say? And he's laughing his head off, isn't he?
He's laughing his head off there because he loves it because you're portrayed as the bad guy in this whole thing.
I was, yes.
Yeah. Are you speaking to him yet?
Who?
Henrik.
Yeah, we're okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll always be okay. But as we say, that's football, isn't it? Yeah, you know, I think it's been mentioned that, you know, it was down to me that Henrik never got the job, but that's not the case, to be honest.
What's the type of player that you want to see? That, you know, when people actually talk about the great Rangers sides, they remember special players that do things that just actually stick in your mind. That's why you want to go to football, to get somebody to create a memory for you that you'll never forget.
You know who I love watching when he come up to Rangers? Obviously being a Rangers fan, and as you say, he played AC Milan, fantastic player, Chelsea, Manchester United. Ray Wilkins.
Yeah.
I know he was older when he came up, but what a fantastic player he was.
Yeah, technically superb.
Yep, could handle the ball, tight situations, could play the game of football. He made it look simple.
Strangely about that, Tam, I love the fact that you're obsessed by those little clips on you know, Twitter and YouTube and everything like that, because, you know, over a 2.5 minute video, Tam looks up players. Some of the players, the goals that he scored for the Hibbies and all the other clubs, Ruffy, he looked dangerous.
Is it 10 minutes?
No, it's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes, but it was a right good 2 minutes. The man who's gathering all the plaudits, Barry, is Odsonne Edouard, scoring for France under-21s on 2 occasions. He really looks the real deal. You think he's going to be even better than what's gone before?
Yeah, I think he's got the potential to be better than Dembele. That's my opinion. It might differ for other people's, but when he's on top of his game, Peter, he's a real handful. And one-on-one, you always fancy him scoring. He can look lazy at times, but that's just his mannerisms. But when he's on fire, he's a top striker.
And at the end of your career, Ruffy, if you were on 20 grand a week, would you just happily sit there and see it out at Celtic?
I'd try and get another 3-year contract. You would not be budging.
There you are, Ruffy, quite happy to go. Ruffy, quite happy to go out and go on then, go on, do your best. Brilliant. And when we qualified for tournaments, Ruffy, you always like to get your photograph taken, get people, you know, enjoying the fact that you were ready. They wanted to copy you, maybe a hairstyle, maybe the latest.
Yeah, there was nothing better than getting that 10 quid for the Panini calendars. It was just a joy, you know, to sign your life away for that tenner.
Look at that, Ruffy. I mean, what happened there, Ruffy? I mean, at least three of them get capped. Is that fair? That's magnificent, eh? Look at that. Look at the 2 players you got on the side. Absolutely top drawer.
I'm not sure which World Cup that was to qualify.
That was 82. That was 80. You are such an arrogant so-and-so. You really are. Here's hoping. And talking of celebrations, guys, I've got to ask you, you've got to be honest about it. I know you've got I know you're kind of a double agents, and you still get a wee bit of work, and you do the BBC as well. Do they have Christmas nights out for the sports team where you all go out for a night out?
I don't think they did have one this year.
Yeah.
I think they do. They've won at the end of the season, but you've got to pay for it yourself.
You've got to pay for
yourself. It's taxpayers' money at the BBC,
yeah,
so it's not so bad here. Hopefully you'll be dipping it in your pocket.
You clearly didn't get invited last year, no. It was in Monte Carlo. It's fabulous. all on the taxpayers' money. Superb. And then we get some cash just for us to get the Wayne's Christmas presents. Great.
Ruffy, they're in for a rude awakening now, aren't they? That's it from the Football Show. Hopefully you enjoyed the best of clips. Don't forget, if you want to see more of our content, you can do by subscribing to PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel, and also like, share and follow us on our Facebook page, PLZ Soccer. Thanks for watching.